I am going to use 4 of these HGR 15 rails, 200 millimeters long. Okay, go into computer, find some of these on banggood.com, order them and get them here in the mail system. They will be here approximately. Now that I have the new rails or linear bearings, I'm going to dismantle the motor carriage. I'm going to dismantle the old rails. I'm going to use 2 of the best blocks I have left over from this down here on this sled or carriage. Okay, now you have seen me rebuild the sled down here. I put on 2 bearing blocks on each side on the sled. This makes the sled very sturdy, so I think that is going to be very okay. As I showed you previous in this video, I have gotten my new rails. These are 4 HGR 15 rails, which is 200 millimeters long, that's 20 centimeters. The blocks I have on these rails are the CC blocks, these are the wide blocks. As you can see here in the Redesign in Fusion 360, I put the rails further down than I did with the old ones. This means that the attachment for the rail blocks is going to be underneath this plate where the motor is standing. This will give much better stability. So the plan right now is to make this case a bit more stable. I'm going to put cross beams on each side here. This is going to give me much more stability in the sides. To place those beams, I need to be sure they don't come in conflict with anything else. So I'm just going to measure how high I can have the cross beams. It's going to be attached in the middle here and be in the middle like so. So from the bottom I cannot be higher than 27 centimeters. This will give me the crossbeam approximately up here, so it won't come in conflict with this bolt when this is in the lowest position. Yeah, now that I put on these cross bracings, this case is much sturdier and it feels very solid. Now I have to figure out where to put these linear rails. And I want to do that by looking at the CAD drawing, so I can figure out what height I'm going to put them in. So if we go into Fusion here, we can see that we have the linear rails here. This is the position is in the lowest position. I haven't redone the CAD drawing down here. Now I have 2 of these blocks on each rail. If we put on all the other components, these shims, I don't need the lead screw yet, the back shims, and of course the back plate, like so. So this way is the way it's standing right now. If you take a look, I have 3 shims here and 2 shims here. And as you see, I, according to my CAD drawing, want the rails to go flush down here. It's not completely flush on the CAD drawing, but this millimeter is not important in real life. And another measurement that is important is the distance from this rail to the outside of the shims on both sides. I can try to measure that by using the inspect tool. And by using the inspect tool, I see that I want it to have 42.5 millimeters from this edge. That's 4.25 centimeters. And if I do the same on the other side to that one, I want to have it 12.2 millimeters. That's 1.22 centimeters. So the measurements that's important for me now is the measurements from the sides to the side of the rail on both sides, and that I want the rails to go flush down inside here. So far, so good. Now that I have put on all the braces and put in the rails that I need, I think this is going to be a good solution. Everything seems very solid and my hopes are high. With that said, I am now thinking about using some aluminum plate to make a plate from this bearing block to this bearing block, going across like so. This is going to give me one more axis of stiffness. So I want to cut this plate in half like so, and I'm also going to cut some in the length. I think this is going to give me the stability I need. That's it. Let's make these aluminum pieces.